Hello, many thanks for joining us on Daybreak Sports this lovely Monday morning. My name is Boluwaji Ogumola. It was indeed an eventful weekend of sporting activities across the globe. From the world of football to tennis to basketball, name it, we've got it covered on the show this lovely morning. But let's kickstart this morning from the Nigerian Premier Football League, where it was match day 38 across various centers in the league yesterday to actually draw the curtain on the NPFL 2024-2025 season. Let's take a look at the results of matches played yesterday, including an away win in Ibadan. Let's check it out. Lobby Stars opened things up with a 2-1 victory over Bender Insurance. El Academy Warriors defeated Sunshine Stars by a single goal. And of course, Shooting Stars ran riot in Ibadan, 5-1. They defeated former champions Rangers International. Niger Tornadoes were also 3-2 victors against Kano Pillars, where Rivers United at home in Port Harcourt defeated Nassau United by a single goal. Plateau United traveled to Aba and defeated former champions Enyimba by a single goal. Ikorodu City continued their fairy tale run in the Nigerian Premier Football League following a 3-2 victory over Abia Warriors, while Bayelsa United trashed champions Remo Stars 3-0. Continental United were 1-0 better than Kwara United, while Heartland defeated Akwa United by 2-1. Let's take a look at how it ended in the NPFL after 38 round of matches. Yes, Remo Stars, champions of the league, after 38 matches, finished with 7-1 points. Yes, better than second place Rivers United, who finished with 64 points. Abia Warriors third with 60 points. Ikorodu City fourth with 61 points. Bender Insurance fifth. Enyimba sixth. Plateau United seventh. And then Shooting Stars finished the league in 8th position. And of course, there you have the entire standing. But then let's break it down and take a look at how it all looks like at the end of the league. CAF Champions League. For next season, Remo Stars and Rivers United will represent the country in the CAF Champions League come next season. In the CAF Confederations Cup, Abia Warriors will represent Nigeria alongside the winner of the President Federation Cup tie between Kwara United and Abakaliki FC, while the relegated teams are Heartland Football Club, Akwa United, Sunshine Stars and Lobby Stars Football Club. And there you have it on your screen, the relegated teams right there, and the teams that will represent us in the Confederations Cup, Abia Warriors, and the winner of the President Federation Cup game between Kwara United and Abakaliki Football Club. And as we leave the NPFL, let's take a look at the top goal scorer after the conclusion of the league. There you have it. Anas Yusuf for Sunshine United finished with 18 goals. And of course, he has the Golden Boot for this season's, top scorers award in the 2024-2025 NPFL season. Rabiu Ali finished with 13 goals. Yes, the Hold Warlords himself. And of course, amongst all of the other players right there on your screen. From the NPFL, let's cross to the second tier of Nigerian League football. That's the Nigerian National League. Well, it's done and dusted in Conference C and D, but then we'll still have few matches to go in Conference A and Conference B. Let's take a look at Conference A. Yes, over the weekend, we had a number of interesting matches. Crown FC did not play because they were drawn by, and Smart City, the team that is giving Crown FC a lot of issues, actually picked up another away point in Ikene at the weekend. They played 2-2 against Beyond Limits Football Academy. Well, the good news is that Crown FC, they didn't play at the weekend, but they have 3 matches to go this season. And they must come out with very good results in those 3 matches. But for Smart City, they have just 1 game left. So there's hope for Crown FC as they continue their push for a place in the season-ending Super 8. Don't forget that Super 8, of course, ends the entire season, and that's where we will have the eventual champion of the NNL emerge. And of course, the 4 teams that will gain promotion to the NPFL will also emerge. Let's leave the Nigerian League at this moment. Let's cross to the continent of Africa, where the CAF Confederations Cup final was concluded yesterday as RS Berkane were crowned champions of this season's CAF Confederations Cup following their 1-1 draw against Simba SC in Zanzibar yesterday. The first leg of that game that was played a fortnight ago ended 2-0 in favor of RS Berkane, and they of course, won the tournament 3-1 on aggregate. And we'll say big congratulations to RS Berkane for that victorious outing. From that point, let's move straight to the National Sport Festival, the 22nd edition of the Games, currently going on in Ogun State. Don't forget that it's the concluding week Of course, it ends later on this Friday. Let's take a look at what the table looks like according to the organizers as released yesterday on your screen. Let's start with the first table and tell you this morning that Delta State occupied the number 1 position, as you can see on your screen, with 52 gold, 23 silver, and 47 bronze medals, a total of 122 medals. Bayelsa United second as we speak. Host Ogun State currently occupy the 3rd position. 4th position is where we have Rivers State. Edo, they are 5th. Oyo currently occupy the 6th position with a 19 gold, 20 silver, and 23 bronze medals, a total of 62 medals so far. And if we move a little further, we'll take a look at the 11th to the 20th position, where we have Nasarawa State. And of course, away from that also, let's take a look at the teams who are rock bottom. Ekiti State, they have 21 gold, as you can see on this screen right beside me. And of course, Borno yet to pick up any gold. Enugu yet to pick up any gold, same as Benue, Ondo, Bauchi, Kaduna, Taraba, Jigawa, and Kebbi States. All of those states are currently struggling at the competition. And away from the sports festival, let's cross over to France this morning and talk about the Monaco Grand Prix held yesterday, as McLaren's and Lando Norris was fastest and, of course, emerged champion of the Monaco Grand Prix held yesterday. And, of course, Charles Leclerc of Ferrari came second, while the second McLaren driver, Oscar Piastri, finished third in that race. Champion Max Verstappen finished 4th of Red Bull, while Lewis Hamilton, of course, finished 5th. He drives for Ferrari. Let's take a look at the driver standings this morning. Oscar Piastri is still the leader for the driver standings now. Oscar Piastri is still the leader, 161 points he has, followed by his teammates, Lando Norris, of course, with 158 points. Verstappen, 3rd, Russell, 4th. Let's take a look at the drivers as the team standings right now. Team standing, McLaren, of course, they've been dominating all season, followed by Mercedes, and of course, Red Bull, they are 3rd at the moment. Away from that, let's quickly check out updates from Geneva. Yes, as played yesterday, where Novak Djokovic won his 100th singles ATP title yesterday, following his victory over Hubert Hurkacz in the Geneva Open. Of course, he came from behind to emerge champion in that particular. Congratulations to Novak Djokovic, 100 ATP Tour titles for him. And of course, what a way to prepare for the French Open that commenced yesterday, the 2nd Grand Slam of the year. Away from the world of tennis this morning, let's cross over to the NBA, where the New York Knicks won their first game in the conference final, following their 106-100 point victory over the Indiana Pacers to actually halve the deficit. Don't forget, before the game this morning, the Pacers were leading 2-0. And of course, with Knicks' victory this morning, it's now 2-1 in favor of the Pacers. And here you have the NBA bracket as we speak. 2-1 to OKC Thunders over Minnesota Timberwolves, and 2-1 also in favor of Pacers over the New York Knicks in the Eastern Conference. All right, away from the NBA, let's cross to the Premier League, where it, of course, all ended in the Premier League yesterday as well, with a number of interesting results on the final day. Yes, there you have the results on your screen. But then let's take a look at what the table looks like at the end of the Premier League this season, with, of course, Liverpool crowned champion yesterday in the league. Of course, Arsenal finished 2nd. Manchester City finished 3rd. Chelsea finished 4th. Newcastle 5th. Aston Villa 6th. Let's take a look at the teams that will be representing England in Europe next season. There you have on your screen Liverpool, Arsenal, Manchester City, Chelsea. Of course, we have Newcastle, and of course, Tottenham will be representing England in the Champions League, courtesy of their win in the Europa League final about a few days ago. In the Europa League, of course, we will have Aston Villa and Crystal Palace represent England, and in the Conference League, Nottingham Forest, of course, will be representing England in the Conference League come next season. And straight up to that young man, Mohamed Salah, who packed about 3 awards at the end of the Premier League season, the player of the season, the playmaker of the season, and the top goal scorer of the season. Congratulations to Mohamed Salah. What a player. And of course, to also celebrate a Nigerian who had an abdominal surgery last week, Monday, but then he was fit enough to make an appearance at the stadium yesterday, and that's Taiwo Awoniyi. It was good to see him again on the screen yesterday, celebrating with his teammates, at least for picking up a ticket to the Conference League. A Champions League ticket would have been nice, but then they have to manage what they have. Well, from there to the La Liga. It also ended in the La Liga at the weekend, and there you have the results in the La Liga. Interesting results. And of course, let's take a look at the table. The final standing in the La Liga, FC Barcelona, of course, crown champion. Real Madrid finished second, Atletico third, and of course, Athletic Bilbao finished fourth over there. Well, to the Italian Serie A, where Napoli at the weekend won the Serie A title ahead of Inter Milan. But of course, let me end the show this morning by taking a look at the champions of leagues in Europe. In England, Liverpool. In Spain, Barcelona. In Italy, it's Napoli. In Germany, Bayern Munich. In France, Paris Saint-Germain. And of course, in Portugal is Sporting Lisbon. And that's sports this morning. Thanks for watching.